Welcome to the metaphysical journey. Happy March 15th. You probably are familiar with the line from Julius Caesar, written by William Shakespeare. And that line is, "Beware the Ides of March," because in the play, Caesar is warned by a soothsayer to beware of March 15th. Now, we know that in the play, on March 15th, Caesar was assassinated by 60 of his senators and also one of his closest friends, in which at the end he utters the line, "Et tu, Brute," because he was betrayed by all of them and murdered. That story from Shakespeare is actually based on history. There was a Roman historian that actually captured this, and that really did happen, that Caesar was warned by a soothsayer to beware that day. And the history goes on to say that on March 15th, Caesar was on his way to the theater, and he sees the same soothsayer, and he kind of jokes with him and says, "It's March 15th." And the soothsayer says, "Yes, but it's not over yet." And so we know how that turned out. Caesar was assassinated. What's interesting about that is the year before, in 45 BC, Caesar implemented the Julian calendar, converting from the earlier lunar calendar that they had used. So the Ides of March became known as the date of every month in which there's a full moon, which usually is between the 13th to the 15th, somewhere in there of a moon. But in the earlier calendar, the March 15th, or the Ides of March, would have been actually the beginning of the new year. So Caesar actually bought himself an extra day by doing that, because in 44 BC, that would have been one of the leap years. So that's a little bit about the history. What I wanted to do today for us on March 15th is to kind of look and see where we are. And I'm pulling up, I guess I'm not, to see where we are on March 15th. What is our situation looking like? And the three tarot cards are going to be in the category of the situation, the obstacle, and then kind of the solution. So situation, obstacle, and solution. The first card that I pulled, and I pre-shuffled these, and I pulled them, and I have them here in front of me, but you'll see them on the screen. And what I'd like for you to do is look at the cards and use your own intuition and see if you get a message from them, if the message that I'm giving is not resonating with you, and it won't resonate with everyone. The first card is the Three of Swords. Now, this is a sad card. If it were up to me, I would have thrown it back in and pulled another one out, but I decided to go with the three that I pulled based on those three categories. Three of Swords. And swords are about our thought process. It's our cognition, how we think about things, and that shapes how we feel about things too. So Three of Swords shows that you've been hurt, wounded, bad. And as if one sword was not enough, there are three. Now, Caesar was stabbed by at least 60 different people on this date in 44 BC. So three is bad enough, but shows that possibly where you are right now is you're carrying that forward with you. And that could be one situation, or it could be a variety of things, a lifetime of things that have just been compiling and building up. And this is what you're walking around with a definite wounded heart. And you think about it all the time. You hear a lot, you see it on TV, or you actually have heard it in person, that you meet someone for the first time, and one of the first things they tell you is, "I've been hurt before." And that's a Three of Swords type of energy. They're carrying that forward. And it's very hard to navigate through life carrying that heavy burden with you. It's a lot. And that's the current situation. That's kind of the energy where you are on this March 15th, of just knowing that there's a lot of baggage there from all the pain and suffering and the things that have shaped how you feel and think about things. So if you have a lot of stuff from the past that you're carrying, it's not going to make you super confident for the future, because you just could be thinking, am I going to be stabbed again? Does this continue to happen to me? And that is a very dark outlook. The next card is the the obstacle. And this is the Eight of Wands. Now, this actually is a very positive card. In the Rider-Waite cards, you see 8 wands flying through the air. In this card with the Sanctus Concordia deck, you have 8 wands that are kind of upright. They're just kind of balanced there. I always wondered on the other, who threw those wands? What were they doing? What were they aiming at? In readings, we assume it's related to us. So it's, creativity, energy, and wands are about our determination, our perseverance, our willpower, our creativity, all of that. It's our fire. And so when you have those wands flying in, you assume like, this is some great energy coming my way. But where did the energy come from? What was the intent behind it? We don't know. We don't know exactly where it's going to land. We can't see. We just know it's flying in from somewhere. From where? Don't know. Where it's going to hit? Don't know. So when I put these two cards together, looking at the Three of Swords, that heaviness coming forward, and then we have the Eight of Wands, and I'm looking at this in energy. With this Three of Swords, the things that happened to you, you didn't have control over that. Most of it, probably at all. You might have contributed in some way, but this is energy that you're carrying forward with you. And then you have more energy coming in. And why is this other energy an obstacle? Because it's possible you can't quite let go of the Three of Swords in order to move on. With pain that we feel, what happens so often is it becomes so intense that we can't deal with it. And we just don't want to deal with it, because you might think, I'll deal with it later. I'll just pack it away. Now, as an Aquarius, I'm a pro at compartmentalizing things, and I will pack it away and set it there, and I never plan to go to it again, ever. But there are some times that you have to. And it's possible in the current situation is that it is time to face some of that pain and deal with it. And it's not going to be pretty. It'll be bad, probably, but it's time to do that, because once you do that and you can release that, it allows other things to come in, new energy to come in. And the obstacle might be that new energy, these Eight of Wands, they're trying to come in, but you're blocking them. So in the Rider-Waite card, we don't know where they're going to land. And it's possible because they don't know where they're going to land either, because they're waiting for you to mark the spot where you want them to hit. So think about that. So the future, kind of the solution, this is the Ace of Wands. And the solution here is allow something new to come in and embrace it, accept it. It's brand new. It's new creativity. It's new passion. Take the negative and convert it, at least part of it, convert it into something that you can be passionate about, something that you can look toward the future with and say, you know what, I can't change the past. I'm dealing with it and it'll take time, but I'm working through that. But I have room now for this one thing, and this I'm going to put I'm going to put my faith in this. And this is about having faith. This is about transforming your life, taking from all the negative and creating one bright spark, just one. It's all you have to do is one. You don't have to change everything, just one thing. And make that, let's say it were a rope. Do you ever feel like there's a rope and there's a knot at the end and you're just barely hanging on to that knot? Well, it's time to tie another knot, go up one more layer. So the Ace of Wands is some new breath of life that's coming in. It's being presented. Don't block it. Allow that one wand, maybe all 8 of them don't hit the mark, but allow one of them to hit and accept that. And from that one thing, start to create a beautiful new thing for yourself. And that Ace of Wand could represent any number of things, whatever you choose them to be. So make today, March the 15th, not a day to be aware or be wary of, make this a day for your transformation. On this date in 44 BC, Julius Caesar transitioned out of this world. Make this a day that you transition into a new world that you create using the energy of the wands. Don't block them, accept them, allow them to land, and you mark the spot where you want them, because that will start the healing of your life and help you to one by one pull those swords out of the heart and out of your thoughts and say, I am ready to release and I am ready to move on. I hope these cards resonated with you in some way. And I want to thank you so much for following me on the metaphysical journey, and make today an amazing March 15th. Thank you.